So let's look at this photograph again. You may decide that the image that you want to submit might not look exactly perfect. In other words, you might want to crop out certain elements of the photograph. When we use the technique of the image size to change the resolution of the photograph, we're not using that to crop out specific parts of the photograph. Photoshop gives us another tool for that task. So if we go into Photoshop and we look at our toolbar here, we'll see that there's a tool that kind of looks like two squares that were set up perpendicular to each other. You can access this tool by either clicking on it or simply hitting the C key on your keyboard. This is called the crop tool, and if you actually run your mouse over it, you'll see that Photoshop will even tell you that it's called the crop tool. So select the crop tool, and then at the top of the screen we have some windows that you can input the dimensions of the photograph that you want to crop. So in this case, we are going to crop this image to 4 inches by 6 inches. Or actually, better stated here, 6 inches by 4 inches. Because as you'll see, I'm going to turn this vertical photograph into a horizontal photograph. So in the width window, I'm going to input 6 inches. And if you go 6 and then IN, Photoshop gets that as an abbreviation. Our other window, we go 4IN. And then again, we do have to worry about that pixels per inch resolution. And in this case, again, we are submitting this for an assignment that is to be hypothetically printed. So we want to select 300 as our pixels per inch. Now drag the mouse over your photograph, and when you drag it over the photograph, you'll see the icon of the crop tool comes up. When you hold your mouse down and drag the tool across the photograph, you'll see some borders or boundaries are drawn. Once you release your mouse, it will actually give you the area that is being cropped. Now, the crop hasn't actually engaged yet, so you can grab the square and move it up or move it down or even compress it by grabbing one of the corners. So in this instance, I'm going to move this up a little bit like this, and when you feel that the crop is appropriate, you can either one of two things: select the check mark in the upper right hand corner of the photograph, or you can simply double click with your mouse in the middle of the photograph, as I'm going to do right now. For some reason you didn't want to do that crop, so I'm going to undo that crop and I'll drag that back in there. For some reason you decided that the crop was wrong, or you may have entered a wrong value, or whatever the case is, you can simply select this circle with the slash through it, and that'll cancel that crop right out. So cropping an image is as simple as inputting your height, your width, your resolution, and then dragging the crop tool through the photograph.